Hello, everybody. My name is Stacy Pavlova. I'm founder and CEO of SHIMANI Smart Skincare. I started the brand this year, but there is 3 years research and development behind this. So I created the brand because I have worked for 17 years in the beauty and cosmetics industry. In the corporate sphere, and I started to see the changes in my skin. It became dull. I really worked a lot, traveled a lot, and all this resulted badly, very badly on my skin. And I wanted to create a product that will help people like me, which work in the uh, towns with polluted environment, with lots of stress, to help them have a great skin. So we put quite an effort in our product, and I believe we created a great product, which to help people to have great skin, to have still working in the towns with the polluted environment and with lots of stress, still managing to have glowy skin. We started the brand just at the beginning of the crisis. Nobody expected what will happen. Yes, it was a great challenge, but sometimes it's easier to start a business in a crisis than to adapt an already existing one. Like if you, it's easier sometimes to build a new house than to uh, to repair an already old house, already existing house. So we adapted, we constantly change the strategy of our business, adapting to the new changes. The good thing is that now we are almost 100% online. And you know that the online sales have been booming during the crisis. Also, skincare sales are quite well because in contrast to makeup, because makeup sales went down, people do not go to work, do not go to parties, they wear masks. So it's logic that makeup sales will go down. They spend more time at home, they have more time to care for their skin. So in fact, skincare, of course, not all of the brands, but many skincare brands did quite good last year. And it was very, very hard in the beginning because it's a new brand, nobody knows it. We had to create brand awareness, but we were so active all the time. We were working 24/7. We managed to participate in two open air trade shows, one in the summer and one just before Christmas. We gave so many samples because with cosmetics, it is very, very important to give samples so people can try and like your product. The most important during crisis is to be active. Not if you become desperate of all these changes that your business is down, your turnover is down. Yes, but like 90% of the businesses and people suffer. The most important during crisis is to act and to take action as much as possible, to contact new people, because through contacting new people, new opportunities will come. Uh, because yes, it's a cycle of the economy. Every like to 10, 12 years, there is a crisis, and we need to be prepared for it. And we should know that in 2 or 3 years, this crisis will be over. And the ones who were very active during the crisis will win. And unfortunately, there will be people who will quit their business, who will be desperate. Don't do that. Be active, because after all these problems, everything will be okay. Yes, the last 12 years, I have been working on the African market, and especially in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is really a great country. As you know, 15 years ago, Ethiopia was one of the poorest countries in the world. And what is happening now in Ethiopia is wow. I have witnessed with my own eyes the economic boom of Ethiopia. Um, when I first went to Ethiopia, like 10 years ago, there were only two hotels to stay. Nowadays, they were busy, they were occupied because of some international meeting, and I had to stay in a hotel where there was no electricity, no water. It was very, very miserable. But now there are so many five-star hotels in Addis Abeba. Uh, Business buildings, shopping malls. What is happening is really fantastic, and I'm very, very happy about this country because there are great people living there. The economic boom in Ethiopia is mainly because of the Chinese investment, because many Chinese people are moving their production, their factories in Ethiopia, and this is because the labor cost is much cheaper than in China. I think 6 to 7 times cheaper. Also, the Ethiopian market is quite big. It's 105 million people, and I think by 2050, Ethiopia is expected to be like 200 million people, thus becoming the second more populated country in Africa after Nigeria. The challenges of entering the Ethiopian market are quite big, mainly because there is foreign currency deficiency. So if an if you want to sell to an Ethiopian company, you send them the perform invoice, then they need to apply to the government and wait for 6 months until they receive the foreign currency to pay your goods. Of course, there are many ways to avoid this, as long as you find a good local partner. As in the personal life, in business is the same. The most important is to find the right partner. When you find the right partner who you can trust, you can do lots of business. Now in Ethiopia, the situation is like El Dorado. There are so many possibilities, so many opportunities. And the most important is to be the first, because now when it's hard, less people will enter the market. But then when it becomes easy, everybody will be willing to do business in Ethiopia, and the competition will be higher. The next challenge with Ethiopia is the high import rate. With import is 35 for cosmetics, for example, but also for foods. The import rate is 35%. Surtax is 10%, 5%, 3% withhold tax, and 15% VAT. Altogether on import, we paid like between 65-70% with all the charges, and it was really killing some businesses because suppliers could not afford to give us such a low price, so we can overcome the high price of import. This is why in Ethiopia they manufacture many things themselves, and they open many factories for textiles, for cosmetics, for coffee, for detergents, because when they export, they will get foreign money and they will be able to pay their imports. Also, with the local production, is much more easy to satisfy the local demand. But still, I have seen many companies, foreign companies, doing business in Ethiopia. How they find the right partner, they are persistent, they find the ways to get foreign currency. So it's possible, just you need to be persistent and to work hard. As I mentioned, we are mainly online. So uh, online is great because it gives the chance of smaller brands who don't have the budgets, the advertising budgets of huge companies, huge international companies, to appear and to be very successful. And this is why we'll stress on all our social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, especially on LinkedIn and TikTok, because they have quite an organic reach nowadays. Maybe in the future this will change, but now is the moment to enter TikTok and LinkedIn. And of course, market places are a great chance to be noticed, because all the trade shows, all the cosmetic trade shows were canceled last year. We couldn't participate in any of them. But we think that marketplaces, specialized platforms give a great chance of cosmetic brands and of any brands to find partners all around the world. The suppliers of the bottles, of the printed materials, we find them during the crisis. It was quite a challenge, because we had to transport the bottles from Italy to Bulgaria. It was just in the beginning of April. There was all the transport, all the trucks were stopped. I had to find some friends with connections to transport my bottles. We needed the bottles really very urgent, but we managed to do it. There were so many difficulties, so many challenges we overcome, but at the end of the day, I think we have created a great product. It was a pleasure also for me, and I hope that we'll be able to meet face to face very, very soon. Bye.